Hi, welcome to the Leader's Edge, how to sharpen your competitive advantage and make a positive impact as a leader in your organization and community. I'm Emily Chiwa, and this is Georgia Donaldson.
Good
We are,
morning.
morning, Georgia. We are leadership coaches and hosts of this show. And this week, it's International Women's Day. It's going to be celebrated on March 8th. And International Women's Day, Georgia, we always think of all the regular things that we talk about, right? Balancing family and home life, the role of organizations or even NGOs in creating supporting structures for this. The glass ceiling inequities, whether it's actual or perceived, um, because of our societal and cultural norms as women and men in society. We have inclusion and the value of having diverse perspectives. But all of those things, we feel like they've been talked about so many times, right?
Yes.
So I'm curious, as a woman in the workplace and in taking up leadership roles, what has been your experience to date? Do you feel like as a woman, it's harder for us to lead, or do you think the opposite? And as you gather your own thoughts on this subject, let's listen to Georgia's story of being a woman in various leadership roles and see what inspiration she'll have for us today.
Good morning. Thank you, Emily. I am so happy that you spoke about those things, because each year when we celebrate or we commemorate International Women's Day, we either talk about inclusion, diversity, equity, we talk about the glass ceiling, as you mentioned. And when you and I decided that we're going to talk about women this week, I said, Emily, what else are we going to talk about? Every year we have these topics.
Yes.
And every year when we talk about it, is any woman better after having talked about it? And of course,
Mhm.
there are. And but what's important, when we think about ourselves in business, we think about ourselves in leadership, we think about ourselves as women in this world doing what we do. How do we support each other? That's
Mhm.
the crux of it. How do we support each other? And when I think
Exactly.
of my own journey going back, oh my goodness, so many years ago when I started out in the shipping industry in Jamaica as a young girl, I got my first opportunity from an organization in the shipping industry. I left high school after sixth form, decided that that was going to be my summer job. That
Mhm.
summer job turned out to be 20 years in that organization, working through the ranks.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really something else because the general manager at the time, he saw potential in me. So that was a male. But that what was the interesting thing is that there were a group of women who were leaders in that organization who also saw potential in me, and they invested in me and they poured into me. And God bless Monica Silvera. She has passed on. She's one of the persons who really saw what I could do. And what she
Mhm.
did, she gave me responsibility and she left me to grow. And she came back and she checked on me and she made sure that I understood what was needed. So when I
Wow.
think of persons like her, when I think of a former general manager as well, another general manager in the shipping industry, Pauline Gray, who, bless her soul, she passed away as well. These are women who really stood by me, toe to toe, who guided me. And then we had Beryl Daguilar and we had Belva Barnett. These are women who I looked up to, and I said to myself, wow, if only I could do half of what they were doing. But what was important is that they didn't see me as this little girl in a corner. They saw me as this blooming, budding woman who was able to manage. And how did they do that? They involved me in meetings, they involved me in projects, they gave me responsibility. And these are some of the things that we want to ask ourselves. When we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and when we're talking about bringing women in, is it lip service or are we doing practical things to bring women in? So when I think about when I moved on now from the shipping industry and I started my own business, corporate options in Jamaica. Yes, I started that in Jamaica. And I
Wow.
was in that business for several years.
Yes.
There's one woman, Dr. Angela Ramsey, who took a chance on me. when I sent a proposal for training, and she was in a large organization at that time, a group of companies, and that was one of the first proposals I sent out. And she met with me and she heard my dream and she heard my vision and she heard what I could do for her team. And she took that chance on me. That propelled me in
Mhm.
entrepreneurship. So the impact that we can have on other people is not just about talking about the issues, but it's actually doing something. And Emily, one of the terms that we keep hearing bandied about now is allyship. You've heard that
Yes,
one. So
yes.
people are saying, okay, let's not just talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let's talk about allyship. But
Hmm.
then it's also going to be another lip service if we just talk about it. Because really and truly, what allyship is education, educating women. It
Hmm.
is listening to women. It is being empathetic. Yes,
Yes,
you say something,
yes,
Emily. Jump in
yes.
right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I was gonna say, well, yeah, and I guess providing that support,
that's
that
it.
actual support to help them, as you say, do.
Mm-hmm.
So the women that you talked about helping you grow in the
Yes,
shipping industry when you were a young woman starting out.
yes,
I mean, I'm sure they saw a spark and spunk in you and some
yes.
excitement about learning and all
Oh,
of that.
yes.
Um, and sometimes people talk about being cut down by other women,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
instead of that, they didn't see you as a threat or any issue. They
Yes,
saw you as someone to, as you say, pour into, which is so beautiful. And
yes.
I think that is a big message, right, for us
Mm-hmm.
women to pour into others. And the allyship is the same way, it's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. You take
Mm-hmm.
someone under your wing, so to
Yes.
speak, and you understand what are their challenges, what's happening, what are they thinking
Mm-hmm.
that keeps them sometimes stuck in
Right.
a smaller space than they can occupy. Because
Yes.
we see that spark in them, right? We
Yes.
see that
Yes.
one thing, that desire to
Yes.
want
Yes.
and grow. Yeah. So that is so beautiful. That is
Yeah.
so beautiful, Georgia.
So let me give you a little joke. So many
Yeah.
years ago, when I was in the shipping industry, and
Yeah.
then I was assisting now with planning these conferences, shipping conferences all over the Caribbean and in the United States. So we now had our meeting in New Orleans. And this young girl, this is my first time I'm going to New Orleans.
Yes.
So I got my per diem and we're off to New Orleans to go in the hotel and do the conference. The conference is usually 3 days, but you go like a day or two before and you spend the day after. So about 5 days. Of course, I'm
Okay.
excited. And I'm
Okay.
thinking now that my per diem is for me to go and shop, not thinking that I'm going to have to take care of my hotel and so
Yes.
on.
Yes.
But because of the supportive environment, and one of the women saw me going out that morning ready to shop, she said, Georgia, remember, take out your portion for your hotel, pay it, because in those days it was not like now where you have to make sure that you have a
Everything's
credit
paid.
card and pay and everything,
Yeah.
right?
Paid ahead. Yeah.
So she said, Georgia, take out your portion. Let's make sure we go to front desk, we pay. This is what we're budgeting for food. Let's make sure. And then anything after that, you can go out and shop.
You do what you need. Yeah.
Yes, I could have had a different experience where someone would see me doing that and not support me, not guide me. And then I would be there now, left in the lurch, not knowing what to do. So
Yeah.
these are simple things that we can do to support each other.
Yeah. Yep.
When we see women who are struggling with managing and balancing their lives, 3 children, husband, the dog, whatever it is, and working 8 to 12 hours a day, what kind of practical support do we give to them? If we know of a nursery that is close and a nursery that's good, do we make recommendations? Simple things. Sometimes women don't know where to turn. So
Right.
that's the point I'm trying to make is yes, it's important to celebrate International Women's Day, but what's even more important is to show in practical terms how we are supporting women.
Yes. Love
Yes.
it, Georgia. That is, I think, the message
Yes,
right
yes,
there
right.
for our show today. It's really about what are we doing to support, and as women, um, looking on onto this
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, or whenever you see this stream, maybe even post in
Yeah,
the comments for us. What are you doing to support other women? Or what have you done to support
right.
other women? Practical things, whether it's women or girls coming up coming
Yes,
up and you want to, have them develop in a certain way. What are we doing practically to support
right.
and guide and impart knowledge and inspiration so
Mm-hmm.
that they can be contributors and
Right.
really excel in their space and in their roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I always believe that as we excel and we have caused others to excel, we all rise. So
Right.
how can we all rise? How can
Yes.
we all just continue to give and create so that we can
Yes.
all, level up? But as we level up, we all level up. So
Of
we all
course.
benefit from
Of
doing that,
course. Can
So
you imagine when all of us are now rising, then that ceiling no longer becomes relevant?
exactly.
No longer,
Less
because we're
and
all
less,
going to be
right? Less
shattering it
and less
together.
relevant. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, we're all going to be
yeah,
shattering it together.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's the thing, doing it together.
yeah, yes.
Okay, good. So, Emily, as coaches, we need to ensure that when we're also working with our female clients as coaches,
Mm-hmm.
we allow them that space to explore these things and allow them that space to also think about how they have impacted other women
True.
and
Yeah.
and to revel in the support that they have received from other women. So
Yes.
if you're at that stage, if you're a woman and you're listening and you're watching, or you're going to be seeing this on repeat, then reach out to us. We're here to help you because we can
Yes.
share our stories. We've been there and we're still there. We're still there.
Absolutely. It's still there.
Yes.
Yeah. So many aspects of leading. What I wanted to say, and I think one of the things you mentioned, which is why I love coaching so much too,
Mhm.
Georgia, it's not about just talking.
Right.
It's about walking the talk.
Yes. Yes.
So, the coaching paradigm I always use is my analogy that I always use with people is the athlete, right?
Mhm.
So the athlete has everything that they possess already inside of them. They have
Right.
they have the skill, they have the talent, they have the body build, they
Mhm.
have a lot of things going, right?
Yes.
But they need the coach to help them get their mind in the right space, give them guidance, give them support, give them
Yes.
tips. But they have to do the work,
Yes.
right? They have
Yes.
to go out
Yes.
there and train. They have to eat the right foods. They need to
Yes.
rest. They have to get their mind in the right space, visualize
Mhm.
their race, whatever it is. And they're the ones going out there in the arena and performing. And I
Yes.
just love that analogy. And I think that's the idea we're sharing today when we talk about support and doing something. Let's not just talk. I mean, there's a lot to
Mhm.
celebrate. We are, as women, we've done so much and we continue to do so much in organizations. We continue to impact and rise in so
Yes.
many different ways and spheres, and we continue to break that glass ceiling. I never believed in a glass ceiling, but
Yeah.
it does exist in some places more than others, and
Yes.
people would have experienced it, even though I
Yes.
may not have,
Depending on your jurisdiction. Yes, that's true.
depending on your jurisdiction,
Mhm.
the industry you're in, whatnot.
Mhm.
But I think, so while we celebrate, I feel like, yeah, please, people take that message. Be a coach, be a mentor, be an ally, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
that you help other women to rise as well. And I think, having that level of diversity in the workspace is so, so important
Mhm.
because people
Yes.
bring different points of views, different perspectives, and together it makes for a better,
Right.
I believe I mean, and it's research, right? A
Mhm.
better outcome when you
For
have the
all.
diversity
For
there.
all of us. For all
Yeah.
of us. Yeah. And it's important to share the story. Share the story because many times people think it's doom and gloom, but we're
Mm.
not hearing the wonderful stories. Share the stories.
Yes.
Even when I think of the coaching work that I do, nothing is more fulfilling than when you hear that woman says, aha, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Or I had that experience, but I never really celebrated that experience. That's powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful. Yeah,
Absolutely. So,
good.
with that, we
Another,
want to say happy International Women's Day ahead of
yeah,
March 8th. I hope
yes.
you all have a great day, celebrate it, honor yourselves in it,
Mm-hmm.
and honor other women and
Yes,
help each other to
yes,
continue to
yes.
rise. Yeah.
And Emily, there are lots of organizations in Trinidad and Tobago who are celebrating it officially.
Yes.
So go on, look, there are so many different organizations that, we know of. And on the day itself, there are several different events. So go online, check them out and go support women.
Yes.
All right.
Well,
Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week.
yes. Awesome week to everyone. And
All
thank you
right.
for watching. Take care
Yes.
now.
Bye bye.
Bye.